This is ACOFAE. Laura Marie and Jessica Marie proudly present A Court of Fandoms and Exploration, a podcast. Fair warning, everything the hosts say is explicit, full of spoilers and adult content and shall not be used against them. They have opinions. Let's try not to drag anyone for expressing themselves and just have fun for an hour. We all deserve it.
This episode contains spoilers surrounding Saved with mentions of Twilight, The Princess Diaries, and Will and Grace. Full list, please see show notes. There are also discussions surrounding religious trauma and gun violence.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to A Court of Fandoms and Exploration, your weekly deep dive into the fantasy, literature, and fandoms that we love. I'm Laura Marie.
And I'm Jessica Marie.
And today we are discussing the 2004 cult classic Saved.
Which, I don't know, I feel like it has an all-star cast. Very recognizable names, including Macaulay Culkin, who's so cute. I don't think I realized how cute he was till this movie. Like, in that time, right? I say in that time. I didn't think he was attractive, like, I don't know. There was a weird time that he went through an ugly phase. But he was very cute in this movie. You have Mary Louise Parker, and you have Mandy Moore, and Heather Matarazzo. There, I was.
And Jenna Malone.
And Jenna Malone.
And Jenna Malone, who it has taken me all of this time to realize she's been in my life forever. I swear, like she's always been there. It's just one of those things. Yes. All of these fantastic people. Macaulay Culkin does not do a lot of films. So it was wonderful to be an adult and to watch this again and to see him pop up. He's playing the character that he's playing, but it's a different time. It was a different time. Very, very interesting movie. So we are covering this movie on ACOFAE because it is 2025. We're trying to survive. And this is a good example of religion being used and weaponized from the beginning. I mean, obviously, that is what kind of religion is. But in this movie specifically, we are showing how religion is weaponized in the teenage years, in the coming of age, right? The coming of age genre.
But like even before that, right? Because one of the opening lines that Jenna plays character Mary, she goes, she talks about like, the life that I've lived when I decided to be saved and the sins that I had to like repent for basically, at the ripe age of 3, like, it's just kind of like, it's always been ingrained in her life. Organized religion and this particular sect of religion, I'll say, because this whole episode, we're discussing Saved, and it's not to shit on religion. Obviously, we know this. Laura, if you've been following for the podcast for a long time or even recent, you may or may not know that Laura is a world religion studies minor. Like she academically pursued world religions and in every sect and understanding it in a very educational level. So it's something that I know I'm so proud of for her being my friend and educating me and like invoking a passion for me to want to know and learn certain things. We had a conversation recently about another movie that we had watched and she goes, you're not familiar with X, Y, and Z. I go, I'm not. I kind of, and it's on me. I was ignorant and I decided not to educate myself on that particular religion because it didn't align with my beliefs. All of that to say is there is an openness that is discussed with one of the particular characters, Cassandra, that we'll get into in this episode, that religion is there for however you want to take it, but it is weaponized in communities and in politics.
Yep. And everywhere since the dawn of time, honestly, since it all started. Specifically, we're talking about Christianity. Specifically, we're talking about Christianity. I want to be so clear about it. They are Christians. They don't get into more specifics than that. It is quite vague. Okay. All right. Back up. So listen, longtime listeners may know that I went to Catholic school for a very, very, very long time. And in between those Catholic school years, I had 6 years of very strange Christian summers. And what I mean by that is I went to a Christian sports camp at our local cult college. DM me, I'll tell you what it is. And it was just like this. It was just like this. The vessel that was used to teach us children ages 6 to 12 about Jesus was a ventriloquist dummy, and he was horrifying. And he did this weird thing where he hit on the girls in the audience, again, ages 6 to 12, weird, with like his eyebrows. It's disgusting and horrifying. All of this is so real life. So when we're going through this movie and I am just like giggling and laughing, it is because my bullies were just like this. Like some of the assemblies were like this, like not to this degree, but like a lot of it. This is just very much real life. Again, Jessica Marie, let's talk about a time, a place, cell phones, skin texture.
Oh, yeah. Well, no cell phones, really. Skin texture, it existed. Nobody had veneers. It just felt relatable. I mean, it's the coming of age movies of then, of basically everything before, 2006? I feel like that's really when you start seeing the shift. And I use that because I remember when we were watching Twilight, I go, that was around then. Like, I think so. I mean, also, some of the language that's used, you know, we have a couple hard R's in here. That's just so casually, it's just kind of casually thrown around. Again, we learn, we grow from this. And curious, do you think that they would have take the language out? Do you think this could still be made today?
I think, yes. I think this could still be made today. Would the tone be the same? I don't know. This is very much a black comedy. Very much a black comedy. This is very funny in a whoa kind of way. Mandy Moore is perfect villain here. Thinking about it, I don't know. Macaulay Culkin is in a wheelchair.
And he's not a disabled person.
No, not at all. And
right. Like that was one of the things that I was like, casting wise, that would have caused discussions.
Yeah. But like not back then.
Not then.
It's not a thing back then, obviously. I mean, Macaulay Culkin did it. Mandy Moore was in this movie. Mandy Moore, fantastic. I can't figure out if that's a wig.
I don't think so. That her hair was like that in the first Princess Diaries too. Also, not Princess Diaries too.
It's so... I really can't overemphasize how true this was to high school. And the authentic wardrobe. These Christian girls are in these low-rise jeans and these little tanks. That is how it was. Their parents bought all that stuff. Like, let's be so real. Like, that was the fashion. It is nice to see. And it is also just like, the times were so different.
Well, speaking of different times, when we talk about third places, you have like scenes they're at the mall. They have third places. Either they go to the restaurant, they go to the mall, they hang out, they find places to hang out with each other. And even at the beginning, Mary says, this might seem boring for a summer, but this is how we created our own fun. Like, she was like, I spent the summer with my boyfriend. We played telling secrets underwater. Like, that creativity feels like it's being lost. As we have so many people tethered to their electronic devices. And I say that because it's all ages, whatever that device is. So it's on you, for us, I guess, for those who remember a time when we didn't have electronics. How do you create that? How do you force others to use your imagination? Even when I'm with my niece, sometimes we'll be outside and I want to have my phone with me all the time. I don't live close to her. Sometimes I just want to record every single moment, and I'll want to record something that we're doing, and she'll be like, no, pretend you have your phone, and I'll play. She likes calling a celebrity, like, she likes playing she has her fans. I'm her fan in the crowd wanting to be on stage. But like, you create and you use your imagination, and then you create these scenarios. And that's what this time was. Because it's 2004. It's that transitional year. There's still technology. You have a whole scene with the whole classroom having Mac computers, for their computer classroom.
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you brought that up. And we'll bring it up when we get to it. But let me just tell you again, I went to Catholic school for high school. This happened. Yes. And I will tell you this story. There's no way that they will listen to this, but this boy, he will not listen to this. He turned out to be gay. He did not know what to do with these feelings. And he had this best girl friend. And it was just like this weird, complicated thing. And he was like weirdly obsessed with her. And he made a website about her and just posted all this hateful stuff and just like all these pictures
he had like
of
his
her,
own like internalized stuff he was working
going
through.
on. Yeah. And he did all of this to her, and he did it on school property, like during computer class. Like, it was just this whole thing. She found out, everybody found out about it. Everybody was looking at it during all their computer classes. It was high fucking drama at the time.
Well, and just like, I mean, it's drama. The feelings are amplified. It is high school, but just like some of the language, again, the language is directly proportionate to the religion and like the organized religion in the schooling and in the community and what's frowned upon, because we're like, you fucked a gay. Like, they didn't say fuck, but you fornicated with a gay.
Fornicator.
Fornicator. Like, that was the biggest insult, and saying that's a gay. Like, it's just so wild. And granted, I know we've had this conversation on the podcast before. 2004 was a very different time. I mean, we've talked about Ellen was blacklisted when she came out in the 90s. Like, Will and Grace was part of primetime TV that people across the country, like, where they were exposed to same-sex couples and relationships and just all of these hybrids. And I even remember a time in high school, there was somebody who hadn't come out, but we were best friends, and everybody thought we were dating. Like, I still think, I hope he's doing well. We don't talk anymore, but I remember like everybody thought we were dating, and we were just best friends. And he eventually came out to me, and I was like, well, what do you need from, like, awesome, cool. Like, that doesn't change anything from us, but like, what do you need from me? He's like, as long as these rumors are happening, like, I won't, if you don't want me to, like, I won't deny them. Like, how is the best way for me to make you feel comfortable through all of this? So it's like, this time was that. And talk about, we talk about female friendships and these characters and trust. That trust is broken from the beginning. And Mary is seeing these friends that she hangs out with all the time. She trusts them with this secret of finding out that her boyfriend thinks he's gay. And it becomes school gossip. And it's so, like you said, the religion is such an underlying, I don't even want to say underlying, it's at the forefront of everything because it dictates how people are acting. And that was one of the things that I noticed with the character Patrick versus the character, like Mandy Moore's character, Hillary Faye. There we go. Hillary Faye. You have a version of Christianity who people say, this is the Christian way of being truth, being accepting, being forgiving, being loving, being open-hearted. And then you have Hillary Faye, the sect of Christianity who thinks they're all those things and are very much the opposite.
And her character is so awesome too, because she has these small bouts of rage from the very beginning of the movie. So by the time she crashes out at the end, no one is surprised. Absolutely no one. Not even her skin, not even her body is surprised. It is an outward manifestation of the evil inside of her with that, the size of Jupiter on her chin. I also want to point out there is a wonderful through line here about the dangers of conversion camp and sending your kids to conversion therapy. That's a conversation that's being brought up again, and it's addressed here as in it doesn't work, it makes you gayer. So don't do it. And it is not. And even Mary screams it at the end, essentially. She's just like, this is not what Jesus is about. Why would God make everybody so different if he didn't want us to be different and have all these different feelings? And even her mom is like, hey, Pastor Skip, like, why would Jesus let us feel so good if we were doing something wrong? Like, hey,
the temptation. Sin, and but I feel like, so Mary's mother is a character within itself because she's so driven by the lust that she has for the pastor. It's just another metaphor of women who are boy crazy. And I say that like in air quotes because also like women can't have anything nice, but how it impacts her judgment. She does anything for this man. You need to send your daughter to the mercy house because she's a pregnant teen and she's unwed and all of this stuff. And she does it not because she thinks it's better. She thinks because we can't be together. And she's doing anything for this man. And one of the things his son, who's like the Christian that I was referring to earlier, but he even says the mercy house doesn't exist for the people who get sent there. It exists more for the people who do the sending. So that aligns with the conversation that you were even mentioning, Laura. It's like it's being brought up at the forefront of political conversations in communities that are deeply impacted. What is this going to do for anybody? It's just going to make you feel better, not the actual person, because you can't tolerate anything because you have hate in your heart.
Yep. Oh, hate in your heart. That's a good thing. That's kind of a good through line through all of this. Okay. So we've kind of like touched on big parts, but let's go through this. Mandy Moore is going to say my favorite line later on, but we'll say half of it here. Mary's always been born again, right? Mary's got a dead dad. We love that. That's a great trope. Excellent. I wanted to be with the angels too. Of course, Mary is, trying to unalive herself right away. And to cope with that, she attaches herself to Jesus, who is also a father figure. So excellent. All right. Coping fantastically. Excellent line right in the beginning. Macaulay Culkin drops it. I don't think he's supposed to be white.
I love that line.
I don't think he's supposed to be right. I don't think so. And his sister, Mandy Moore, drops a hard R and is like, of course he's white. Of course he's white. We love it. We love it. We also love the description of the Christian Jewels being a girl gang for Jesus as they are violently protesting
outside of the abortion clinic. And I don't think it's any secret where I stand on this podcast. But I still don't understand. So then one girl decides, she's like, oh, she's not getting the abortion. Again, that is your choice. I'm all for you having your choice. If you change your mind, you no longer want an abortion. But they cheer. Like, I just don't understand the concept. You are not financially paying for this. So like, how is that a win? I don't know. This just goes with the bigger conversation that religion is being weaponized and the hypocrisy that comes with so much of it, because it's throughout this movie. And it's an issue that I have in life in general about hypocrisy and fairness.
Her mother, Lillian, is the top Christian interior designer for the region. Fantastic. This is the summer before senior year, and this starts, we have a 2 weeks before summer vacation. All of this changed. And of course, I love a timeline, so I'm going to point it out the whole time. And this is where it starts. Just mentioned, a time, a place. We make our own fun. We're in the pool. We're telling secrets. Dean, our boyfriend, tells Mary, our female main character, I guess, sort of, that he thinks that he is gay. And Mary kind of freaks out. Again, they're like 17. And she tries to come up from the pool and she hits her head and she's drowning in the pool. And the, landscaper comes and dives in the pool and saves her, and she sees him as a vision of Jesus, saying that she needs to do whatever she can to help Dean. And in our 17-year-old minds, she takes that as we must ungay him. So she tries desperately all summer to get him to feel something for her body. And it doesn't work. Obviously, this is a gay man. And I want to point out, Dean's paper porn magazine. A time, a place. That's a relic now. And it was hidden under the bed. Classic 17-year-old boy.
Well, talk about time and place. Even when he shares the secret with Mary, she goes to ask Jeeves instead of, because Google didn't exist.
Wouldn't exist, gay.
And so she goes to end gay, and it's just gay porn.
Oh, it's good. It's good. We're introduced to Hilary Faye because Mary needs advice on what to do about her gay boyfriend, Dean. So we go to Hilary Faye. We're introduced to Hilary Faye on the gun range, absolutely slaughtering the targets.
Crushing it. I love it. She is a sure shot.
She's a sure shot. And everything that she says is very quotable. There's a lot of fantastic quotes throughout this movie. But what she says here is like, of course, Jesus could restore me body and soul and repurify me. But like, who wants that? The implication being like, don't let it happen from the beginning. She's like, and I'm saving myself for marriage and I will use force if necessary. And then she just destroys the target again. But that conversation prompts Mary to feel confident that Jesus will restore and like repurify her, and like the, born again part, like re-accepting Jesus, be saved again, and will make her spiritually a virgin again. So with that reassurance, she goes and has sex with her gay boyfriend, Dean. They use no protection. They use absolutely nothing. They just go at it like little 17-year-old children. And the next morning after Mary says like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. The next morning, Dean has been shipped off to Mercy House after they find his paper porn magazine. Now, Hilary Faye is such a wonderful character because she's so easy to dislike, and that is just fun. But she just drops some bangers, and the passive aggressiveness that she has is just masterful. And of course, this is all set in Baltimore of all places, but this could be set in the South and I would understand it more.
Yeah, I feel like it was my second watch, because I watched this twice, that I realized that they were in Baltimore, like when I was seeing the public transportation. And I told you, because I was familiar with this movie. I knew certain snippets, but I never saw it as a whole. And you were like, I'm very interested to see what your thoughts are. And it was the second watch that I finally, before we started recording, that I told you, I had just so much anger. And I don't know if it was the anger. I mean, obviously it was anger because of all the hate. But I was triggered. I had my own PTSD, like watching it, because it did feel like it was like, hello? I don't even want to say flashback, because it happened then and it's still happening now. And I feel like that's where my anger was coming from, because I'm somebody who, and I still, we want to talk about hypocrisy and asking questions and questioning the authority. If you want to go ahead and be like, oh, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, this is a sin, that is a sin, cool. Totally hear you on that. But can't you go about your sins because you're preaching that this man died on the cross for said sins, and to forgive you in the long run? So we can have, just when it comes to religion and it comes to like all this hate that is being spewed then and now, and at the forefront of so many conversations, I'm like, but wait a second, aren't we all going to be saved in the end anyway? So why are we getting all riled up?
Well, of course, Jesus is like really our main character. If we really kind of think about it, Jesus is like our main character in this movie. He is overlording our parking lot. That is for sure, because he is all neon and like lording over. And we love when Hilary Faye does what I have to assume all teenage girls do. And that is form a clique with tangible membership items that are jealousy inducing to other girls. I mean, we're talking about real life. This is the most real life thing in the world, because what do we have? We have the Christian Jewels pins, and those pins go on our collar, and Mandy Moore bought them for all of us. And this is our introduction to everybody as we are driving in our handicap van for Macaulay Culkin, Roland, our brother. And Mandy Moore, again, passive aggressive queen. She's like, I could have had a Lexus Gold Edition, but for Roland,
I'm such a good Christian because
Such a good Christian.
I am taking care of my brother. And she made it seem like this was her choice. This is not her choice.
This is not her choice.
You know, her parents were very much like, you want a car? Then you have to get the car that you can take care of your brother with.
Yep. And she even says that during their private prayer that we get to overhear later. She's like, even though I really want an expensive car and slap me with the handicap van. Fantastic. She drives that thing like a bat out of hell. Amazing. Picking up all her friends, giving everybody her pins. We get to meet Veronica. We get to meet everybody. Roland with his it's difficult for me to say. Differently abledness. It is it's hard for me to say. Which
is also interesting because I know we had this this conversation specifically, I think it was on our audiobook episode, which was like traditional reading versus audiobooks back in the summer of 2021, where you were sharing that your mother doesn't prefer that language.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom is very particular about it. So it really is like little like alarm bells whenever I see this, but she's using this as just like a cutesy term for her brother. So, and he's looking at her.
But I think it's like the Christian, it goes with the Christian language, right? Like look at, because honestly, at the end of the day, she wants to come off very pious and better than everybody. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be a Christian, I'm going to be the best Christian and you're going to have to live up to me. Her license plate says JC girl. And it was not JC from NSYNC.
And she says later, you're just jealous with my success with the Lord. And of course, your success with the Lord, that's not a thing. It's not a competition. Okay, anyway. Dean has already been shipped off to Mercy House. Doesn't he know? I won't have any time to warm up. Go get him. Is he coming out or not? Not. Very funny. Double language here.
I love the double entendre there.
We love it. Mary, of course, tells all her friends she can't keep this in. She doesn't tell them that they had sex. She just tells him that Dean is gay. And again, Hilary Faye with the bangers. We've never had a gay at American Eagle before. Again,
which is funny because American Eagle.
Yeah, I mean, come on. But again, Jess, going back to the friendship betrayal that you mentioned, Mary does make Hilary promise not to tell anybody, and she does. She does. Promise, and then she does tell everybody. Introduction to Cassandra. We've never had a Jewish. She was a Jewish.
Yeah, what is with those insults?
Those insults are real life because when I went to school, we had one fully Jewish person that entered our senior year, and she was angry about it the whole time, and she talked about the Holocaust the entire time. Anytime she had to do any presentation for that entire year, she did it on the Holocaust, just to be like, fuck you to all of us. And her name was Amaya, and she was the nickname for her, again, was the Angry Jew. So this was real life. This is what it was. That is my experience. So again, this movie just like hits home. And the way that they call her the Jewish is the polite. It's polite. The things that were happening in my high school. So we love her purple car. We love her smoking. I love that Hillary is so determined to save her. And she turns everything that Cassandra does into like, I'm so glad that she's still here. Everything that she does is a cry for help. It is just, one day I will save her. It's my calling. Fantastic. And I love the way that Cassandra uses that to her advantage. Several times.
I love it. She's so smart about it. So that's where I understand the frustration at the end towards the end of this movie where she gets in trouble for something. She's like, I didn't even do this one.
Yep. This one, I didn't do this one. Oh my gosh. We're introduced to Patrick Wheeler. He's a skateboarder. He's also Pastor Skip's son. We'll meet Pastor Skip in a minute. We've also got Tia. Tia's the friend border friend, the friend that's like kind of in the group, but nobody is first choice.
I feel like she wasn't even a friend. She wanted, because we talk about exclusivity with this clique, the Christian Jewels in this clique, she wanted to be part of this clique. So she was doing anything to be, I mean, it was even in her prayers and her secret prayers she's like, she just wants to be part of this. She wants girlhood. She wants sisterhood. She wants to be part of this clique. She wants to feel included, and she's doing anything for that. And so then when they, spoiler for this movie, Mary's eventually out, you have Tia scooting right in, and she's like, I finally made it. And so then she feels like she has to make up for lost time, if anything, to prove that she should stay there, because now she knows you can just as easily leave.
Mm-hmm. And full circle at the end when it is actually Tia who is the linchpin to the whole thing. We love that. Okay. We have the assembly. And of course, Cassandra is cutting the assembly. Cool kids, but Roland is there too. We love that. Roland does not smoke at this time, but he flirts. He is a flirt. We love that. Macaulay Culkin, you get that.
That doesn't feel like acting. I feel like he's naturally just like charming.
I also believe that. Just very charming, very just like suave and calm, and just like it rolls up. We love it. We love it. He's later in the assembly. He's like, yeah, she digs me. She digs me. Fantastic. Hillary does a whole song.
But here's
Mandy
the thing.
Moore.
I think
sings.
it's Mandy Moore does a whole. I wonder if her contract in those early aughts required her to sing. And like, I feel like there had to be some, because she had her music, she had her record label. She was like pumping out CDs and singles. She had a Walk to Remember. That was around this time. She had her vocals on Centerstage. That was 99. So yeah, I feel like there was something in her contracts that always had her singing, because she's also opening the song, like the opening song of this is her.
Yep. And of course, Mary and Veronica are also in the band. Mary's like this, the whole time. And she's I fucking Patrick, and Patrick's I fucking her. We love that. We're 17. We love that.
But you know what I hate about it? And I don't hate about the I fucking, but I hate that Mandy was doing the same thing, but she was above the law. She can do no wrong. She was allowed to check Patrick out. And this also goes with like friendships. You know how we talk about where like there's that meme going around, like when you have friends and you never have the same type. Best friendships are the ones who don't have the same type. This is a perfect example of that.
I see what you're looking at, Mary. So does Jesus.
Yeah, so does Jesus. You were just looking at the same too.
So does Jesus. So does Jesus. We'll get that. That's a funny scene. We'll get there. So we're still in assembly. We're having private prayer. This is where we learn where Tia's dad is drinking, and like, I know you're working on it, and I want to be a jewel. I wonder if Roller Boy is paralyzed everywhere. There's a little line here. It's like, and please keep the president safe. That is just a little aside joke. Again, this is a dark comedy. This is funny. Cassandra, queen that she is, starts speaking in tongues. She's saying she has a hot pussy. I love the boys' internal monologue during this too. Both Patrick and Roland are like, she's going to show her boobs. Oh my God, she's going to show her boobs. Hilarious. We're 17. It's funny because she's pulling at her shirt. It does look like she's going to show
Mary
her boobs.
was like, wait, I think it's going to happen.
It's like, oh my God. Amazing. And they say that Cassandra's reputation went to legend after that. I mean, of course.
Everybody was so scared. Yeah, because she was, she was the black sheep of the whole school. And now they were like, what a badass, do it again. And she's scared. She's scared Hillary Faye. And but then that became her mission, double down. She was already like, you're the hardest person to save. I'm going to make it my mission to like realize what you're missing. But this also goes into that conversation of, why can't we just accept that everybody has different religions and respect that and not force my beliefs down your throat? But here we are in 2025.
Okay, Jess, you were talking about third places. Third place is fantastic. We are watching Patrick skateboard, and here's one of my favorite scenes. He falls down. Hey, girls. And Hillary Faye hits him with some of the most appalling questions in the world. So where were the worst heathens? Like, how many people did you save? And Patrick is like, whoa. I was just there to skateboard and essentially get away from my dad, who I really hate. So, no. And then Jess, they go to the mall. A time, a place, a feeling. The mall. Who stumbles in? drunk at the mall.
Oh, Cassandra stumbles in drunk at the mall. She smells like Tia's dad. Yeah. And what I like about Cassandra is that there's so many layers to her, right? I like that she knows that she likes Roland as a person, not because he is Hilary Faye's brother. She genuinely likes him as a person. And I don't want to say she's very manic pixie, because she's not. She's just different. And not because it's the same way that Mary felt about Patrick. She's like, everybody looks like a NASA headshot kind of thing. And here's somebody different who has a personality and isn't this cookie cutter that I've been exposed to my entire life. And here's the thing with that mall scene, right? It's going to the food court. But Hilary Faye's just like not a good sister. She does things out of obligation, not because she wants to, but from an optics perspective, she really leans into that. Look how pious I am. Look how great I am. It reminds me of Glinda, where she's like, oh, of course, thank you so much, when everybody's just fawning over what a nice person I am. Yes, you're right. But she wants to be adored like that, because we later, it's later confirmed of all of her insecurities that she carries.
Yes. And I like that Roland is not like passive in any of this either, because he kind of manipulates the situation and kind of like tips some stuff onto Hilary Faye so that he knows that she'll get up and make a scene and yell at him, because he sees Cassandra over there and he like kind of wants to get her attention so that she sees him. I love that. Go off, King. Like, I
love him. Or like when he's playing footsies with her under the table, really? And she's like, are you playing footsies with me? And she's like, well, like wheelies. He's so smooth.
He is so smooth. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. We have a very stereotypical tropey Mary barfing in the morning scene. Excellent. After enormous pressure from the State Department of Education, we have a sex ed class, which was essentially don't do it. I can confirm that was essentially my sex ed class in high school. Don't do it.
Ours was, we did not have our sex ed class. And I mean, we both went to school down south, and I went to public high school, and it was, they called it APE, Abstinence Protects Everyone. That was our sex ed. We call it the APE program. And then, it was so awkward. And then we had it in middle school also. We had it in middle school also. Great times, taking a freshman year also. Then they had to send us home we had to sign it with our parents so that we can confirm the parents had the talk with us. It was so awkward. And I just remember like the biggest thing, they were like, don't lay down when you're making out. And I was like, la, 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 la.
Oh my God, that's horrifying.
I'm still traumatized by it.
That's horrifying. Oh my God. They split us up. They split us up, boys and girls. And the youngest teacher that we had, the youngest female teacher that we had, gave us like a rundown of what's going on. But like, it was like the barest bones. It was terrible. Okay. Here's the thing. It takes Valerie Bertinelli for Mary to realize that she could be pregnant. And we have the frantic bicycling to the drugstore. Please be cancer. Please be cancer. Please be cancer.
There. Honestly, if I was a teenager, I would be hoping for cancer. So, like, that's all I would want. Yep. Don't let it be me being pregnant. Because I thought of other things where it was like when we'd go to have bonfires on the beach and stuff, because we grew up in Florida. And I knew that if we got caught, I was going in that water. And if you know anything about sharks, it's peak feeding time at night. So I would rather die than be caught. So, yeah. Please be cancer. I'd rather that than, like the crazy I didn't know I was pregnant stories.
Yes. Horrifying. So it's confirmed Mary's pregnant. She makes an appointment at Planned Parenthood just to double confirm it, I guess. Side plot, mom has started dating Pastor Skip. Again, Patrick's dad, principal of the high school that they all go to. And
who is still married.
Wearing flirty little tops. She goes out with Skip. Next day, Hilary Faye has passed out flyers for a prayer circle, and Tia hands Mary one, and she says the banger line, which is so terrible. I'm so sorry to hear about Dean's faggotry. What?
The F drop, man.
It's terrible. And she says it so casually. And it's just like, here you go, bam.
But
here
again,
we go, moving on.
Time and place, because it's a time and a place. Like, that's another one. That wouldn't be made here. Or if someone's going to drop it, it's not going to be a cis het woman.
No. Oh my God. But we have the classic teen movie scene of passing out flyers. Are you going to come to the prayer circle? Patrick, please come to the prayer circle. We're praying for Mary's gay boyfriend, Dean. Yeah. This is also where we have Roland and Cassandra on a date where they kiss. We love that. Oh, it's so good. But they see Mary leaving Planned Parenthood. And this is another banger line. There's only two reasons Christian girls go to Planned Parenthood. She's planning a pipe bomb.
And she's like, okay, like 2 reasons. We're like, no, she's pregnant. He's like, I don't know. Not her. Like,
not her.
Her boyfriend's gay.
Dean? Oh, so good. Hilary Faye also drops what I think is the best line, maybe second best line in the movie. She goes, Mary, prayer works. You're not born a gay. You're born again.
Wild shit. Wild shit. This whole movie.
Just the way that she draws, she's so sure. And like her body, she's like, you're born again. Yeah. Oh, just how do you deliver? See, Pastor Skip almost like breaks character a few times. He laughs through a few of his lines, especially in the beginning, where he's like, you want to be down with the biggest celebrity? You want to be down with the JC? He breaks character a few times and he's laughing during that.
I didn't realize that was him breaking character. I thought he was just trying to be like, haha, like, I'm trying to be like one of the kids. Because remember when they were like, you need to help, Mary is losing her sight in the Lord. She's going, because she's honestly at a point, she was like, fuck this. There's something bigger. I need to, like, it could be organized religion, but I need to figure out how to get rid of this baby somehow. And I guess people are picking up that she's pulling away from her Christianity connection with this school, and she's on the outs with the clique, and everybody is recognizing this. And so he goes, she's one of your friends. Can you talk to her? And they're like, yes. Do you want us to do this? He's like, that's not so gangsta.
Not so gangsta.
I was like, what is happening?
No, what that line is Tia goes, do you want us to shoot her?
Yeah, like the extremity, but this is because Tia is trying to earn her place and keep her place in this clique.
Mm-hmm. It's a girl gang for Jesus, don't forget. He goes, no, don't shoot her. Not quite so gangsta. We're almost to the exorcism, which is hilarious. But we'll get there first. Mary is losing her faith. And that is kind of, and she finds her faith again in the found family that she creates at the end of the movie. But she's lost her faith here. And she cusses in front of the church several times, waiting to be struck down, and nothing happens. And that's kind of a cliche, but I love when that happens. We love it. We go to the prayer circle, though, and Mary kind of blows up at Hilary Faye, and she's like, essentially all of this is bullshit, and none of this matters, like all of this is a lie. And Hilary Faye is like, prayer works, it's medically proven. And then just in a flip of a dime, she rips that Christian Jewels pin out of her lapel so fast, and she's like, you could pollute everything that the Christian Jewels stand for. Snap, 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 get the fuck out of here. And Mary does not hesitate, and she slams that door so fast. She's like, fuck you.
And she gets to that point with all of them because it's been time and time again. And Mary isn't somebody like maybe with her mother, but isn't afraid of confrontation because even we know from the beginning, she goes, "Can I talk to you?" And she says it in front of a group of people. She's like, "We have shit to talk about. And you know what? I don't need everybody to know our business, but we do need to talk some things out." And it's not the first time that Mary has done this with Hilary Faye, but she's willing to have these conversations and be direct about them, which again, I know we've had this conversation in previous episodes, how hard that is at that age to want to approach a friend with direct honesty about being hurt about something. It's hard to do it at our ages now, let alone when you're going through these emotional roller coasters of puberty in our teen years and the whole coming of age of life.
And also, it's just kind of to add to Mary's character, too, is her mom does not give a shit about her until the end. Because having a child is like owning a car. And Mary's like, okay. My mom just compared me to a car, so me having a baby is not something that she can handle, so fuck.
Well, she basically said, my mother can't handle me. Mm-hmm. That's how she was like, I wouldn't know how to handle a kid who had something I didn't know how to deal with it, so I would send them away too. She's like, well, that's out of the question. And it even solidifies her parenting style. I don't want to say she's an absent parent, but she's a neglectful parent. I think you could say that. I mean, she provides for her child. I mean, there was no issue of her going hungry, but even Pastor Skip, who I have a lot of qualms with, but he goes, what? He's like, did you not
How can you not?
How can you not know? How do you not see this? And the one thing I'll give her credit for, she's like, she was snacking a lot, but I didn't want it to be like this thing that she hones in on. I didn't want to make it an issue, so I didn't say anything. And yeah, she gained some weight, but again, I didn't want to add to it, which is fair in 2004.
How rare is that in 2004? That's a rare
that
parenting.
Didn't exist.
Yeah, that's a rare sentiment in 2004. Her mom is also dyeing her hair a lot in this movie, back and forth. It's kind of funny. It's not addressed. It's just a visual gag, I think. Her mother also does call Hilary Faye like basically an uppity bitch because after Mary storms out of the prayer circle, Hilary Faye takes it upon herself to call Mary's mom and like give her a heads up on what happened. Which I hate girls that do that. That's a very
who does it? Like I never had anybody do that. You did?
Southern bullies, my Southern bullies. Fantastic. Yeah,
Nobody
fantastic.
knew my parents' number. That's crazy.
We had a student directory.
Oh, my parents took mine out of it because they didn't like that all the boys called me. I was like, I didn't give them my number. They were like, how did they get it? Took it right out of that student directory real quick.
Yep, student directory. So our baby is going to be due on June 13th, which is 2 days after Mary's 18th birthday. Mary does try to tell Dean that she's pregnant, but it just doesn't work. And Dean is very distracted by his roommate, Mitch, who is the worst gay of them all.
He's so bad. He's the worst. But I'm healing. I'm going to beat this thing.
Yeah, and
I think he's going to beat something else is what I think he's going to beat.
But he does make the promise that, like, I'll be there for prom. Like, yes, Mary, I'll be there for prom. Like, okay. So now it's Halloween. I told you I like a timeline. It's Halloween now. Mary and Patrick end up wearing the same costume, which is alien eyes and little antenna. We love that. Roland is a roller skate. Cassandra is a witch. The Christian jewels, now featuring Tia, are angels. And
Charlie's angels.
Charlie's
I thought
angels.
She was like the beginning. The Pastor Skip's angels.
Yep. Gross. And Cassandra, here's an aside. Cassandra has gotten her car handicap adapted so that Roland can drive it. And we love that. We love that little subplot.
I love the subplot of their relationship. And I like how, because, sometimes it's like you have these big feelings in high school and they try to dismiss it. Like, because even when he was like, this is a really cool gesture, he dismisses it with saying like, oh, you just wanted the handicap parking, didn't you? And she's like, yeah, that was
totally,
it. Like, that's why I wouldn't get it for any other reason.
So just as you said earlier, there's a loss of faith and a trying of other religions and trying to see what's going on. Mary, who has lost her faith, is going through a bunch of books in the library. and she's using crystals and she's trying to find something that she connects with. And she says a really great line. And she says, like, look, they're all a little scary. Like, all of these religions are a little scary when you like sit down and you look at them. Like, all of them are like, oh my gosh. And that is just kind of like the start of her kind of deconstructing what's going on, which is excellent. And then we run into Cassandra, and Cassandra confronts her, and she essentially is like, look, I know you're pregnant. And Mary runs away. So that's the first time. And then we'll get to the next time where Cassandra and Mary have their girl moment. But then we're up to Pastor Skip asking the girls to take care of Mary. This is what we talked about earlier. What the Christian jewels take that to mean is that they should kidnap Mary on her way home from school and try to exorcise her. And then we have, again, I believe this was in the trailer. You were just jealous of my success with the Lord. I am filled with Christ's love. This is Hilary Faye as she throws the Bible at Mary. Mary picks it up and says, like, what this episode is about. This is not a weapon. But again, this is lost on Hilary Faye, who is, again, in a little bit of a rage cycle here. And then, like, out of nowhere, Patrick shows up, immediately charming, on his Vespa. She goes, I don't want to get on your scooter. Scooter? This is a Vespa.
Which is also different. Fair. Yes,
different.
I would. Yes.
It's different. And then he says a line that I really, really, really love. He says, she tried to exorcise you? That's nice, I guess. I love it. It's such a boy thing to say too. Like, he does not understand at all what is going on. He's just like,
no.
Oh, okay.
Thoughtful? Good for her. It's the layers of drama that, unless you got to catch them up to speed, how girl fighting works.
It's very funny. That was nice of her, I guess. Oh, it's funny. He asks her out. This is also where he drops the line, Jess, of Mercy House exists for the people doing the sending, not for the people that are being sent. I mean, after he drops bangers like that, he asks her out, I'm not dating. Come on. I'm adorable. It would bug Hillary. Like,
yeah, he's looking at every different angle. And I like his approach when she's like, look, I'm not dating right now. And then he comes back with, what about tomorrow? You dating tomorrow? And she's like, good night. But like, she's smirking, and he knows he had her with that too.
Oh, absolutely. He had me with that too. I love Patrick Fugit. He's wonderful. He's wonderful. So, okay, where are we? We're at Christmas now. Now we're at Christmas. And Mary, who again has not confided in anybody. Nobody has, she's been carrying this since the beginning of school, and she's wearing this hideous oversized Santa sweater. And it's bad. It's bad. She's by herself, and she's completely ostracized by her friends. She goes into the bathroom. Cassandra's smoking, and this is the second confrontation that they have. And Cassandra gets Mary to admit that she is pregnant. And this is the girlhood comforting moment, Jess, that you mentioned in the beginning of the episode, where not only do they become friends here, but Roland is driving, and the three of them skip school and have a shopping montage to help Mary buy clothes to hide her baby bump.
Which I love that, sometimes I feel like montages, I could go either way. I know I'm on record saying like, oh, I hate a clothing dressing room montage. But I love it at the same time. Like, I just eat it up. And I love this here because this is for like really the first time that since she's been pregnant that she's allowed herself to admit it and allowed people to be there for her. And I loved Cassandra in the scene too, because there was such girlhood. She lets all of her frustrations down. She feels bad for this person who, I think one of the things Mary says, she's like, I sound so stupid. I thought Jesus wanted me to have sex with Dean because Dean is gay, and I thought I was supposed to like make him not gay. This is all on me. And I think it was also just like this moment that Cassandra, like, she can't penalize this person who is essentially sucked into this very cult-like mentality. Like, she's like, I can't, she's breaking. And I've seen her, the transition and the growth that she's having about trying to educate herself, trying to like you had said earlier, break down and understand religion and question things. And I just love it. I think it speaks so much to Cassandra's character that everything aside, like, it was just girlhood at that moment. And she's like, I'm the support system. I can't, who can be mad? She needs somebody. And from here on out, with this montage, you have the three of them hanging out. They're hanging out. Roland doesn't give a fuck. His sister's just his chauffeur. He doesn't have a relationship with his sister. But he has a relationship, and a long-withstanding one, with Mary, who he likes as a person and continues to like, and Cassandra. And I like them together. And Cassandra becomes the ultimate wing woman too, because here we see Patrick, who Cassandra knows that Mary likes, is shopping with Hilary Faye. And you can see, like, everybody knows that Patrick likes Mary. Everybody, and that's why, another reason, Hilary feels so threatened by Mary, because even when he's trying to compliment Mary, Hilary tries to get the attention back on her. So he even said, like, I'm not shopping with her. I'm not dating her. There is nothing I was here doing, because again, mall third place. And when you're in town, there's usually like one major mall. We just all happen to be here, and now she won't leave me the fuck alone. So Cassandra takes one for the team, and she was like, hey, Hilary Faye, I want to be saved. Actually, I'm feeling really lonely around the holidays. And the way Hilary Faye is like, oh, it's because you're Jewish. I was like, what? But again, Laura, I know you had reminded me, there's a certain context where they are in a private, organized religion school, and Cassandra's the only Jewish student. So in context, Hilary Faye is like, oh yeah, you would feel left out because you're the only one who's not celebrating our religion. But Cassandra doesn't care. She's just using this as a device to keep Hilary Faye away from Mary, so they can go off, and Patrick, so they can go off and do their own thing.
Yeah, and Patrick, new to town, knows the mall backrooms suddenly.
I was like, is he getting a second job at the Annie Ann's or something?
Yeah, like, okay. And has this like little room set up, real cute little heart couch. And he and Mary almost kiss. They have like little moments. They're like, yeah, I like you. I like you. They almost kiss, but Mary runs away. She just can't do it. She can't do it. She can't do it. And then we're at school the next day, and it is really funny because Cassandra, renounces her saving, and there's this whole thing with rotten bacon. But then we have a church scene with Mary, and Mary's looking at the Virgin Mary, and she's like, you know what? If that bitch lied, I get it. Who could ever use virgin birth again? Like the ultimate story. I get it.
She's like, and she's like, I don't think she did, but plausible.
I'd understand. Yeah, I would understand. Now we're at Valentine's Day. I love this. We're very awkward with, should I give him a Valentine? Should I not give him a Valentine? Patrick gives her a Valentine. Hilary Faye gives Patrick a Valentine. It's all very la la la.
Is Hilary dumb? No, she's not dumb, because she knows. She's just like keeps inserting herself. She knows Patrick has a thing for Mary, and she hates that.
Yeah. Our parents are bad. Pastor Skip, Patrick's dad, they have a conversation about like, you should just divorce mom. She told me everything. We have a closet bonding scene with Mary and her mom where they're like, do you want to talk? No. Do you want to talk? No. Nobody wants to talk. Pastor Skip isn't talking to mom, so mom's upset too. Eventually they go out on a date and they have a public kiss, woohoo. Then we string Patrick on the cross for some gratuitous male sexuality. We love that. Fantastic.
It's so funny how it's portrayed. I don't even want, no, it's not related to this episode. Continue.
I know that it might seem unrealistic to have a teenage boy in a loincloth parading around as Jesus, but I promise you that's what happened. I promise you that's not what happened when they were doing Stations of the Cross in the gym. When I was in high school, we had a boy in a loincloth going around as Jesus. So this is not as far-fetched as you might think.
Here I am thinking it's like for media.
Nope.
But again,
this is real life. This is real life. This really happened. So now we're here at Easter. We have 2 months to go. 2 months to go. And this is where we start to get into kind of the viciousness that is going around between Hilary Faye and Cassandra. And Hilary Faye drops lines like, I could get you expelled. And Cassandra is getting very protective of Mary. And she says, like, I'll kick your fat ass. And of course, Hilary Faye cannot let that stand. Are you kidding? She's deeply insecure about that. Mary, though, making the choice of a 17, almost 18-year-old girl to keep her sonogram in her locker. All right. It's a choice. It's a choice.
I wanted to ask you, especially because of your profound firsthand knowledge, how did everybody have access to everybody's locker? Were they giving out? They're like, oh, can you just run to my locker? Here's my password.
You were not supposed to give out your combination. No, but the office had the combination of everybody's and could go into anybody's locker at any time.
Yeah. Okay. So that I totally get. But how are the students accessing like the planting? You know what I mean?
The planting.
Of the spray paint.
Great question. Theoretically, you could pry them bitches open by going in through the bottom and just prying them. Well, it just depends.
Because here's the thing, where I have to go back to the sonogram. It was in her locker. If she had really invasive parents at home, I would get it. I would have done the same. I kept different clothes in my thing. But her mom wasn't. So that's where I'm like, your mom doesn't care. You literally could have kept it in your room and it would have been fine. So of course, like when that line is dropped, if you're familiar with the pattern of storytelling, when you see the sonogram, you're like, oh crap, that's in the locker. Here we go. You already know that that's going to be something. And then if you didn't pick it up the first time, you double down with Cassandra saying, is that the safest place? And it's not. It's not.
It's not. Again, as I mentioned, the bullying has ramped up at this point, and Hilary Faye has recorded Cassandra cussing her out in an attempt to get her expelled, because Hilary Faye is just like done trying to save her at this point. She has had enough. But Pastor Skip does not want to expel Cassandra for so many reasons, a lot of them being optics. So he regulates them to the prom committee that Hilary Faye is in charge of, and they have to do that, and it's tacky, and they end up running away. But during this, Patrick very publicly asked Mary to prom, like right in front of Hilary Faye. Like, boy does not give a fuck. And Mary's like, you know what? Bet. Yes, absolutely. Even though she knows in the back of her head that Dean's going to try to make it for prom. Doesn't matter. Patrick's in front of me right now. Let's go.
Fair. You're 16.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
yeah.
17. But like, you also don't know if he's converted. But I say converted in air quotes. But again, everybody's learning as we're growing in this community, that's telling you one thing that you are surrounded by 24/7. It's not I only go to church on Sunday and don't practice what I'm learning.
Yep, absolutely. And here's what I mentioned earlier in the episode. All of the computer screens show a child version of Hilary Faye, and she is not looking her best. She's not looking her best. Puberty's a bitch, man, and this was rough. And this is like cyberbullying. This is the beginning. This is what it looks like. This is the beginning
of cyberbullying, because that's so right. This is how it happened.
It looked like. This is how it happened.
I'm impressed with the tech of it all.
And then because obviously this is very traumatic. Like, this cyberbullying is like intense. And Hilary Faye, I think rightly, goes to Pastor Skip and is like, now, what the fuck now? And Pastor Skip is like, again, you got no proof. You can't prove that Mary and Cassandra and her brother Roland did this. And so what does Hilary do? Hilary gets herself into this frantic kind of trance state as she is praying. and she's kind of lost to it. She's like, help me, Jesus. Like, what should I do? Tell me what to do, Jesus. Tell me what to do. And she kind of goes into this blackout state, and we don't know what happens until the next morning when we come to school and we see that the school has been vandalized with spray paint everywhere. And then just, this is what you were referring to with lockers, is that Hilary Faye obviously did the spray painting and planted the spray paint in the lockers of Mary and of Cassandra to get Cassandra expelled. And because she's mad at her. And during this search, and here's another thing, that secretary is a girl's girl, because during that search, the sonogram falls out of Mary's folder, and the female secretary sees it and picks it up really fast and is just like, nope, nothing to see.
Yeah, is there anything else in there? Her immediate no.
Nope, nothing to see.
I wasn't expecting that.
Nope, nothing. And then everything drops, and then it's on the floor, and Pastor Skip has to pick it up and be like, whoa. And then Mary faints, which honestly, correct reaction with Mary fainting. She wakes up and confesses everything, and her mother's face is just like, what? Is there anything else? You gave your virginity to save Dean from his gayness.
Because Jesus told you.
Because Jesus told you. Okay. And Pastor Skip is also like, okay. All right. Excellent. And he this is when he freaks out. He freaks out a little bit, and he's like, how did you not know about this? Like, don't you see, like, we are so distracted with each other and like of this sin that God is punishing us. And you didn't notice this. And the longer that we lived in sin, the more he took it out on Mary. And this is our punishment for doing all of this. And you need to send her to Mercy House. And the mom is looking at him like, well, I want to decide. And then just like you said, he hits her with, well, if you don't send her, then we can't keep this going. And she's like, oh, all right, she can go.
Because it wasn't what was best for Mary. It was what was convenient for her and what could keep her relationship with this married man. Yeah. But here's the thing. Like, I get they could probably be legally separated. The wife wanted it. And he was just like, I can't, not in the eyes of the Lord.
Yeah, in the eyes of the Lord. While that is happening, Cassandra has been expelled. And she has stormed off in just like a fit of being upset. And she has stranded Roland at school. Again, there's no cell phones here. So Roland has nowhere to go. He's in a wheelchair, remember? So he sleeps outside school and then under the Jesus sign. And then he wakes up and he goes to the cafe where he had the date with Cassandra the first time. And we get a little montage of her frantically looking for him around town. And she's very like dressed casually and she's very worried. And she even has a little moment where she prays and she's like, please help me find him. It's very sweet.
Very sweet.
And then we get a really, I think, wonderful speech from Roland when she meets up with him again. And, you know, he apologizes and he hits her with like, look, I used to be really reliant on Hilary Faye, and I don't want to be with somebody because I need to rely on them and because I need to be with them. I want to be with somebody because I want to be with them. And that's important to me. And I am not going, essentially, he's like, I'm not going to like drag you down and like shackle you to this thing. I want to be a full person and live like a full life, not like the life that I was living with Hilary Faye. I want like full autonomy of my life. And I, knowing this, want you, Cassandra. And Cassandra is very moved. And she says, well, I want you too.
She thought he was breaking up with her. Mm-hmm. And honestly, the conversation, like, it leads in that direction where you think like, you know, not two halves of a whole, but I'm a whole person by myself. And I was just using you. But Here I am. And I've recognized I want everything you said.
Yep. Roland has an idea for prom. So things are happening concurrently. Roland and Cassandra and Patrick are setting up a meeting with a limo and with a dress and with flowers to pick up Mary. Mary, meanwhile, is packing for Mercy House with her mom, and her mom drops the line basically of like, you ruined my life, essentially. Essentially, you ruined my life, Mary. If you have this baby, your life is going to be over. And then the mom runs away. So we learn how Mary deals with her problems. Just like mom.
Just like mom. And, you can't blame Mary because that's all she's known. Which is also so funny because at some points the mom is so in such a catatonic state because she's depressed about how her relationship is going with Pastor Skip, that her daughter's getting phone calls. Mary's getting phone calls, leaving the house, meets a taxi, I guess she called, at the corner of her neighborhood, runs across the yard. I was so surprised that I was like, oh, that's crazy that her mom's just letting her out. And it wasn't until later I go, her mom never left. She didn't know she left.
Her mom didn't know she left.
Because I was like, I know she didn't climb out the window. She's 7-8 months pregnant.
Yep. So it's not happening. So Mary meets up with everybody and this is we have a dress, Patrick is there. Roland has a receipt from Home Depot showing that Hilary Faye bought the spray paint. So he's like, this is the ace. I've got this in my back pocket. We can go to prom. We can kind of blackmail her with this. They won't throw us out. Patrick, tells Mary that he knows about the baby and he doesn't care and it's not a big deal. They have a kiss. All right, off we go to prom.
But it also shows when we talk about sex ed, right? When you have the abstinence, rewind to earlier in the movie, that she has her sex ed and she's like, a little too late for this. Mm-hmm. A little too late for this. And then when she meets Dean, he was like, on the first try? Oh, and then even when they're talking about the conversation about using protection, he was like, but I haven't been with anybody. She's like, oh, sweet Dean.
Sweet Dean, sweet Dean, sweet Dean. But now we're at prom. And Hilary Faye, whose credit card has been declined because Roland has used it to pay for all of the things that he has been doing with Mary and with Cassandra. Hilary Faye has an enormous pimple on her chin, and she is very stressed. She's very high strung. She's got to drive the van to prom because the limo guy wouldn't take a personal check. It was a time. It was a place. A personal check was a thing that you used to pay for things. But the limo guy wouldn't take it, and that's real of him. So off we go. Tia really wants the tiara. That's a running gag that will resolve itself later. Very funny. And Tia finds a receipt in the van. We keep that in the back of our head. This is where Mary's mom notices that she's gone. She's like, hey, she's not here. Okay. This is where it's so crazy because she just gets wrapped up in her own world. She's just neglectful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. And then we're at prom and we've got God Fight singing, because it's not a prom scene if we don't have a band that's too good to be at a high school there. Yeah. And what was funny? It was because of, Hilary Faye, and then once they came through, everybody was like, she's going to be insufferable now. Everything is going to be about oh, I did this, prayer works, I made this happen. And it's confirmed because that happens in these prom scenes. Yep. And then Hilary Faye sees that Patrick and Mary and Cassandra and Roland have made it to prom. So she gets up on stage and tattles the fuck out of it. They're like, Pastor Skip, they're here. And Pastor Skip is not having any of it. He's like, I think it would be the Christian thing to do to let them stay and have prom. Fuck whatever this is. No, they can stay. Your own personal vendetta. Yeah. Is not what's going on here. And this is where she goes, shut up, fornicator. And Hilary Faye starts to rage. This is where Roland's like, I have the receipt. And again, Pastor Skip says his favorite line, it's not enough proof. Again. And then it's like, okay, Hilary Faye, swear to God that you're not the one who vandalized the school. And Hilary Faye hesitates and hesitates and hesitates. And then she lies and says that I swear to God, I did not do it. And then Tia is like, yes, you did, bitch. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And she shows Pastor Skip, who is the king of needing proof, that receipt that has Hilary Faye's actual signature on it. Yeah, because Roland was really carrying around the credit card statements of the receipt. So it had other charges, including maternity clothes. And they're like, okay,
you set your sister up. And that's where Tia, what do you think was the turning point for Tia to turn? Was it like the justice of like, it's about what's right, not being accepted? Or do you think it was like her not getting the tiara just to wear it for a nanosecond, really like, be like, no, fuck this. I'm going to go against Hillary.
There's a scene when they are setting up for prom when Hilary Faye is looking at Cassandra on the ladder. She's like, I hope you're wearing underpants this time. Where after she signs God Fight, she gets that phone call. She kind of like throws everything like at Tia, and Tia picks it up and kind of looks at her like, who the fuck do you think you are? And I think that's the turning point.
That she was seeing like everything.
You're a bad person. Yeah.
Yeah. Like who Hilary Faye is as a person, and not like this person she put up on a pedestal for so long.
Yep. Because they say, you're a big fake Hilary Faye, and Hilary Faye, crash out queen, absolutely crashes out. And she says exactly what Mary said. Jesus told me to do this. Jesus said that I needed to do this. I mean, just classic. We love it. And then runs away.
But it's also kind of full circle, because in a way, it kind of brings us back to where Mary is talking about Mary Magdalene, Virgin Mary, about like, she was the first person. And I don't know if it's full circle, but it's very like the pattern, right? Where she alludes to, she's the first one to do it. You can't reuse it after one person's already done it. And that's what Hillary did. She tried to use the same excuse, with the exception that she actually did. Or so she believes. She goes, I don't know if I hit my head too hard. I don't know if I was just like drowning, but I think I saw Jesus. Meanwhile, it was the pool boy. So as Hilary Faye is running out into the parking lot, she's running to her van. She runs past Dean and a bunch of members from Mercy House who have kept their promise and have arrived at prom. And this is where Pastor Skip is like, no, this is too far. We can't have the gays here. This is too far. Enough. And this is where we get the message of the movie, right? Which is like, Pastor Skip is like, the Bible is black and white. There's no room for moral ambiguity. And everybody else, Mary and everybody else, is just like, so you hide everything that you don't like. Nobody fits in 100%. You can't just send people away that you don't like. Why would God make us have all of these differences if he didn't want us to be this, like all of the same? It is not right that we're doing this. Isn't Jesus about like loving and accepting everybody? Just in all of this is going on. And as this great moment is happening, again, this is a dark comedy, we hear like commotion outside and Mary's water breaks like at the same time. And Pastor Skip is just like, what now? Now what? Are you shitting me? Like what? And what is happening is that Hilary Faye, in like this fit of blackout rage, rams her van into Jesus, and it just boom, and then the head falls off and it falls onto the van, and she screams and the tiara falls off of her head, and that's funny. But Hilary Faye comes out of the van after she's crashed, and Cassandra and Roland are there. They're like, Hilary Faye, are you okay? She's like, and then I love it. She's like, no, I am not okay. I crashed my car into Jesus and I have a pimple the size of Jupiter. No, I am not okay. I love it. Crash out queen. She's like, do you think Jesus still loves me? And Roland's like, probably not. I died when he said that. And you could see the devastation on her face. And Roland's like, I mean, yes, like, that was such a little brother thing to do. Well, older brother.
So funny. So the ambulance comes and we have a really funny scene of like, I'm the boyfriend, I'm the father, I'm his boyfriend. And then we have mom coming like, excuse me, boys, like I'm going with my daughter to the hospital.
Deciding to be a mom.
Finally deciding to be a mom.
9 months later.
Yep. And then we have, of course, like, I don't love this, but I understand the message. I understand it's like all full circle, but like she's staring at her baby girl and she's like, I understand why people believe in God. Like there has to be something out there, saying that her baby girl is perfect. I understand that is a sentiment that happens with parents. I don't have with new parents. I don't have children. You know, it is what it is. It's fine. I am more interested in the found family that has happened here between Dean, who's very sweet with his baby girl, the mom who's really come around, Mary, Roland, Cassandra, the boyfriend, and Patrick.
Yeah. I had the same note, like that, the last photo, the significance of the group, because it was like everybody involved played a role in like helping her survive these last 10 months.
And then to wrap everything up, Pastor Skip is in the parking lot with flowers, kind of hyping himself up to go in and talk to Lillian, Mary's mom, to kind of just tie up all the storylines. So, excellent movie. I love this movie. Again, it is just so incredibly real life to me. I lived this movie several times over. I've seen it 1,000 times. I love that Mandy Moore is in this movie. I love that Macaulay Culkin is in this movie. I, again, am finding as I get into this deep old age that I am, that looking back on these early 2000s, late 90s movies gives me that like nostalgic joy of like of a time and a place and real people. Things were just different. Nobody had veneers. It is just kind of like looking back and seeing like kind of like how far we've come, but also how much we've lost.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the key to it.
Yeah. And I think that's such an interesting conversation to have, because we can say now like, oh, 2025, look at so much that we have, you know, that's the past, but there's a lot that we can see in these old movies that still has a lot of value. And I mean, dark comedy is dark comedy. They're going to hit. They're fun. I don't have any fun facts to share with anybody because I have peppered you all with fun facts of my traumatic childhood through Catholic school and 6 years of cult-like Christian sports camp. I think that's enough for everybody.
I have the one fun fact that it was supposed to be Anne Hathaway instead of Mandy Moore. That was my fun fact, except she had to be in production for Ella Enchanted. And so they switched out with Mandy.
Oh, actually, I do have a fun fact. The script had to be rewritten a lot because in one of them, they had Hilary Faye shooting up the school a la Heathers. So a lot of rewrites. Kind of to add on that before we wrap, I was paying close attention. I watched this through Amazon because it was the cheapest to rent if you do a $2.99 SD, and like, you know, it's fine. It's fine. So I did that, and the fun facts are not fun facts. It is just continuity errors. And let me tell you, a lot of those are not fun. Although I will mention that the cup that Mary is drinking out of when she talks to her mom for the first time in the kitchen in her pink like outfit after Planned Parenthood, that looks like a fucking like pitcher, little pitcher. That doesn't look like a cup. It looks like you pour cream in that, and that's bizarre. It was bizarre.
What was the fun fact that you saw about that, or was that just like the continuity change that
it was a continuity change?
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, the handle's in one hand and now it's in the other hand. I don't care.
Yeah, I saw that with like the hair up, hair down, hair half up, something with the prom. I was like, okay. And it was like when the girls were in the car, so they didn't even, like, you wouldn't even have known because they weren't anywhere.
All of this to say is that the people yearn for pop-up video. The people yearn for Glee. Thank you, Ben Platt. The people yearn for pop-up video because Amazon used to have the bangers. Yeah, the people being us. Amazon used to have fun facts. They used to have like things.
So good. Like you almost wanted to keep the pause button like in the watermark state so you can keep track of what was happening.
Yeah. And recently these past few movies that we've covered here, they've been bad. So, you know, come on, Jeffrey, let's get on it. Enough now. You're married. What's the distraction now?
He has to find a new one. But with that being said, feel free to follow us on Instagram. We're at ACOFAE Podcast. We're also both on TikTok, ACOFAE Laura and ACOFAE Jessica. Feel free to follow us. Feel free to DM us and feel free to rate us 5 stars on any of your listening platforms. We'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.